Not naturally as big a man as those other welterweights. So start there. That's a fair point. He moved up in weight, Barrios. So he's not a naturally big, natural welterweight.
Gervonta "Tank" Davis made an unannounced but impactful visit to Manny Pacquiao's training camp just days before the Filipino icon's highly anticipated showdown with Mario Barrios. The meeting between the two champions, who once shared the spotlight in the same weight division, was marked by mutual respect, handshakes, and smiles. But Davis didn't arrive just to offer moral support. According to well-placed sources inside Pacquiao's camp, Tank came prepared with valuable intel. Drawing from his own experience stopping the towering Texan in 2021, Davis reportedly gave Pacquiao detailed, first-hand insight into Barrios' style, habits, and weaknesses. Those close to the session claim he openly pointed out exactly when Pacquiao should attack, the specific angles to exploit, and the precise moments to close the distance. It was described as a rare and powerful show of solidarity between two generations of elite fighters, one sharing battle-tested wisdom, the other preparing for war.
I was talking to somebody about Manny coming back fighting Mario Barrios.
Ouch.
And this was the analogy I gave. Your timing, it slows down. That's time. Time slows you down. And so, to me, I think Manny has to come out very strong, very fast in the first couple of rounds because his gas tank ain't what it used to be. At 46 years old, you come out and let's just say hypothetically your gas is half full at 46 years old. I'd rather try to use that half tank
when I got something
in 2 or 3 rounds.
Yeah.
And really get off on this kid because he has the kind of style. Styles make fights. He's got the perfect style for Manny to do what he do. But the further that fight goes, the more that's gonna go down. He ain't young no more when it does this. It ain't gonna do this no more. It ain't gonna go down and then come back up. He not gonna create space, take a deep breath, and that thing shoot up the way it used to. He ain't gonna do that, you know?
At 46 years old, Pacquiao has reunited with his legendary trainer Freddie Roach and the trusted inner circle that guided him through his historic climb to 8-division world champion status. This reunion has reactivated the same tightly knit, experienced team that once pushed Pacquiao to dominate boxing's biggest stages. Training has been approached with measured intensity, striking a balance between pushing his physical limits and respecting the realities of his age and time away from the ring. The past 4 years have added weight to every movement, every drill, making each training session a deliberate and calculated step toward one last defining performance.
Pacquiao in the winner.
Well, look, Freddie, I appreciate your time.
Me and his wife will get mad at me for saying that.
You're trying to drag him back out.
No, 'cause I talked to Manny on the phone, and he wants to fight one more time.
He wants to fight one more time.
He does.
Against not an exhibition, a professional fight.
He wants a real fight.
Who right now, though, could he fight?
We have. I haven't let him choose anyone yet. But the thing is, it's just his heart has. He said he wants one more fight, and then his wife called me up and said, "Don't let him fight, don't let him fight." And I try to be on her side and so forth. But like when a man in the sport wants to fight, you know, sometimes he's gonna fight. Yeah, I agree with you. He's gonna fight, and you know who? It doesn't matter.
Mario Barrios, speaking ahead of the fight, drew notable comparisons between Pacquiao and his former opponent, Tank Davis. He acknowledged that while Pacquiao shares similarities with Davis in size and speed, both being smaller fighters with exceptional footwork and lightning-fast hands, the challenges they present are unique. Barrios, who has enjoyed a height and reach advantage over most of his opponents throughout his career, expressed a deep respect for Pacquiao's ability to overcome taller fighters with relentless pace and precision. He knows that height alone will not be enough to deter the Filipino legend's aggressive style.
Yeah, you know, very unserious, but yeah, man. I mean, I know he's gonna bring it whenever we step in there, And but yeah, right now all the media, everything, it's fun. It's all smiles. But both of us, man,
When you first got to the pay-per-view level, there was like an adjustment period. You had to get used to it. And was there any nerves up there? Because this is even another level than the Tank fight and the Thurman fight.
No nerves. Like how you said, I think those fights, have only prepared me, for this level. And now, doing like all this media stuff. I've always hated this, right? I still do. But I've definitely, gotten a lot more comfortable with it, or just used to it.
All right, guys. Last question, guys.
The Tank fight that you learned with the slick, fast southpaw with lightning fast hands. What do you think you can take from your experience with Tank and apply it to Manny?
I think I could take a lot from that fight, actually, man. Like the way Tank, you use the way he closes his distance. The way he worked off his speed.
When asked about the friendly atmosphere during their initial face-off, Barrios noted that Pacquiao carried an easygoing, lighthearted demeanor outside the ring, often joking and smiling. But he quickly added that once the bell rings, Pacquiao transforms into an entirely different fighter, focused, intense, and utterly committed to breaking down his opponent. Reflecting on his fight with Tank Davis, Barrios explained how Davis's ability to close the distance with explosive speed taught him hard but valuable lessons. Those lessons, he said, will be key to countering Pacquiao's forward pressure and unpredictable angles.
Yeah. You're a lot bigger.
Yeah, I knew there was gonna be a height difference regardless. I've been dealing with that my whole career. I started pro at 122, so I've always had the height advantage on most of the guys that I've fought. But it's still dangerous. He has fought plenty of people with my height before, and they're very successful. So I know it's just I just gotta go in there and do what I'm training for.
Mario, I can't recall who said it, but they said once Pacquiao gets you smiling, it's like he's got you or something. And you guys were sharing a lot of smiles. What do you think about that, man?
I don't know, man. I feel like I knew the face-off was just being in front of him. I've been seeing him face-off people since I was a kid. He's a very unserious person, but he's very serious when he steps.
Barrios left no doubt about his mindset going into this fight. He's ready for a war of attrition, adopting a kill or be killed mentality. He referenced Pacquiao's grueling loss to Yadenis Ugas, making it clear that he is willing to push the fight into equally punishing territory if necessary. After weeks of intense preparation alongside his team, Barrios believes that every fight in his career has prepared him for this moment. On the other side, Pacquiao has shown genuine interest in facing Davis should he defeat Barrios. In a November 2023 interview, Pacquiao said, "Davis is a good fighter. If he comes up to 147, then we can fight," signaling serious intent. His advisor, Sean Gibbons, has further fueled speculation by calling a Pacquiao-Davis bout a dream fight, even suggesting it could be for the WBC welterweight title. Pacquiao has doubled down, insisting he fears no man, no matter how young or dangerous.
They keep mentioning Gervonta Davis. They keep talking about Gervonta Davis as a possible fight, Manny. You like that fight? Because he's little, he's your size.
I like that. I like that. I like that, but it's finished first, this one, because this one is a taller champion like that. So I have a lot of things to do.
Meanwhile, Gervonta Davis continues to receive praise from high-profile voices in the fight world. UFC commentator and podcast host Joe Rogan has described Davis as both a dangerous and captivating fighter to watch, lauding his combination of explosive power and elite boxing instincts. Rogan recently remarked on how Davis's compact build allows him to generate devastating force in close-range exchanges, making him a nightmare matchup for anyone in his division.
Tank is one of the most interesting fighters to watch because he's so different. His style is so different. He's so economical. He puts pressure on guys without throwing too many punches, and then starts to figure holes out, and the way he can explode and move in with one shot, my God.
Yeah, he very explosive, and he be cracking them dudes. Hey, he be putting them to sleep.
Just cracking people.
Yeah.
And he has so much confidence in his power.
So, he just, in his mind, it's a matter of time before.
Analysts have often compared the contrasting styles of Davis and Barrios. Davis, the 5 feet 5 inches southpaw slugger, thrives on precision, patience, and perfectly timed bursts of aggression. In their 2021 clash, Davis landed a staggering 45% of his power punches and scored 3 knockdowns en route to a dramatic 11th round TKO victory. Barrios, who stood nearly 6 inches taller, used his jab effectively in the early rounds, outlanding Davis in 6 of the first 10. But analysts noted that his jab lacked the power to keep Davis at bay. Tank expertly baited Barrios forward, slipped under the jab, and unleashed crushing counter hooks and uppercuts to the head and body. Even so, Barrios' resilience impressed many. His defense held up under heavy fire, and he repeatedly got back to his feet after knockdowns, proving his toughness and heart.
And what time is it, y'all? Time to start a debate inside a barbershop. We're gonna pit Mario Barrios against Tank Gervonta Davis. Yes, sir. Starting with the champion, the pride and joy of San Antonio, Texas, Mario Barrios. He stands at 5'10" with a 71-inch reach. He's currently undefeated at 26-0 with 17 knockouts. He is the man that holds the WBA regular junior welterweight championship belt. The challenger, representing Baltimore, Maryland, Tank Gervonta Davis. He stands at 5'5.5" with a 67.5-inch reach. His record, 24-0 with 23 knockouts. Wait a minute, don't be so quick to throw this guy under the bus. Yes, we know Tank Gervonta Davis is a knockout machine, but he's only ever knocked out people he can weight bully. What happens when he has to go up 2 weight classes, gives up 5 inches in height and almost 4 inches in reach to a man who can establish his jab well, knows his distance, and puts in good body work? Oh, did I mention he's also coached by Virgil Hunter? That's Andre Ward's coach, so you know he's going to come in there with a game plan. I'm going to go against the grain, and I'm going to pick him to win by 12-round unanimous decision. What do you think?
Former WBO super welterweight champion Tim Tszyu offered a blunt assessment of Pacquiao's upcoming fight with Barrios. Speaking after the press tour, Tszyu admitted he has difficulty picturing a Pacquiao victory, citing age as the biggest factor. Mario Barrios is a beast, Tszyu said. He's 30 years young, it's a hard challenge for Manny. Yet he was quick to acknowledge Pacquiao's unpredictability. It wouldn't surprise me if he pulled it off because he's Manny Pacquiao. He's full of surprises. Tszyu's comments highlight the central storyline, a legendary underdog against a prime, hungry champion.
I think Barrios wins. I think young, and it's hard with age. But I think if anyone was going to do it, Manny Pacquiao.
Pacquiao, however, rejects the narrative that he's over the hill. He insists that his comeback fight against Barrios is a completely different scenario from his 2021 loss to Ugas. This time, he says, he's fully rested, laser-focused, and mentally sharper than he's been in years. He openly admitted that in the Ugas fight his legs felt cramped, his conditioning was subpar, and he struggled with range, but now, after 4 years of recovery and reflection, he feels rejuvenated. Pacquiao claims his speed, timing, and movement are back to peak form, and he's committed to fighting at least 2 or 3 more times.
Tell us about your preparation for Mario Barrios. How is it different to 4 years ago when you faced Ugas?
The different, I'm more focused right now. No distraction, I really focus on the whole training camp and focus on stamina, focus on techniques. He is a champion. He is a fighter that, we cannot underestimate him. He's taller than me. He has the advantage, but, we prepare for that. Just watch on July 19th. It's going to be a good fight.
There has long been speculation, most notably from Floyd Mayweather and his camp, that Pacquiao may have used performance-enhancing drugs before their 2015 mega fight. Mayweather's team pushed for strict USADA-style blood testing, pointing to Pacquiao's unprecedented rise through multiple weight divisions while retaining knockout power. Pacquiao responded by filing a defamation lawsuit, publicly offering to undergo any test and pledging to pay a $5 million fine if he failed. Nevada State Athletic Commission executive Keith Kaiser later confirmed Pacquiao had passed every pre- and post-fight drug test. The legal dispute ended in a settlement, with Mayweather's camp officially retracting their PED accusations.
He's a generational, talented fighter, but I don't feel like, he did it on his own.
I don't think Pacquiao took steroids. Really, the Mayweathers questioned it and drilled him on it, and that made people pick a side. I can't say that means Pacquiao was on something. And the reason why is because Pacquiao may have been the most tested fighter of all time. He never failed a test. Floyd did. So you're talking about a situation where now you're just saying he's so good that he must be on something. But number two, Crawford said Pacquiao was knocking everybody out until he took the test. That was a damn lie. Pacquiao power went down after he went up. Pacquiao didn't knock out anybody at welterweight. That had nothing to do with the test. He went up and he ain't knocked anyone out at welterweight. He knocked out Ricky Hatton. That was at 140. Floyd knocked out Ricky Hatton. So that doesn't say that Pacquiao had steroid power. He wasn't knocking out anybody. Yeah, he was beat.
Veteran boxing analyst Teddy Atlas has expressed both admiration and caution regarding Pacquiao's return. He acknowledged that fighters of Pacquiao's legendary stature sometimes get to skip the line in matchmaking, but warned that no one can escape the realities of aging. The problem is where he is in his life physically, Atlas said. God forbid something could happen to Manny Pacquiao at this point. While he respects Pacquiao's greatness and historic achievements, Atlas believes fans and promoters alike must recognize the risks involved when a fighter in their mid-40s steps back into the ring after a lengthy layoff.
So you want to go and use that.
How old was Leonard at that time?
Leonard was only 32 years old when he fought Hagler. Yeah, he'd been inactive, but he was only 32. Pacquiao's 46, so right there you could, it ain't a good comparison. It sounds good. It sounds good, yeah, because Leonard did come back. Leonard did win a very close fight, a controversial fight, but a great fight. And Leonard was great. There's no doubt about it. And he cut the line. He earned it. Leonard, you could say, and you could say Pacquiao earned the right with all his greatness to cut a lot of lines. Yeah, you know, I see it all the time. The other day I was at a benefit. The foundation was given something by St. Philip's Church, 155-year-old church, great church, do great work in the community. I sure as hell didn't know I was going to be talking about this. And they gave us an award for helping them in the community, what the foundation does. We don't need an award. We're privileged that we can help. But people feel they inclined to do that, fine. It's very nice. And your mom asked for a drink. So I went up to the bar to get a drink. I didn't realize that there was a long line. And so I went right to the front, not understanding that I passed the line. And then a friend of mine said, you cut the line. And the whole line said, Teddy, that's okay. I said, no, I didn't realize I cut the line. I'll go back. So I went back, I waited in line. But they were gonna allow me to cut the line. I guess because I'm handsome. I guess because I had a nice suit on. I had a nice tie. Whatever. But out of some kind of respect, which I really appreciate, whether I deserve it or not, they were letting me cut the line. So I understand that some people get the privilege, they get the respect, the allowance of cutting a line.
Barrios described his first face-off with Pacquiao as a surreal moment, recalling how he'd watched the Filipino legend squaring off with opponents since he was a child. Seeing Pacquiao smiling during their face-off was almost disarming, but Barrios didn't mistake it for weakness. He noted that Pacquiao may joke and appear relaxed outside the ring, but he becomes a completely different fighter when the bell rings, serious, focused, and ruthless in execution.
You're a lot bigger.
Yeah, I mean, I knew there was gonna be a height difference regardless. I've been dealing with that my whole career. I mean, I started pro at 122, so I mean, I've always had, you know, like the height advantage on most of the guys I have fought. But I mean, you know, it's still dangerous. You know, he has fought, you know, plenty of people with my height before, and he's been very successful. So I mean, I know, like, it's just, yeah, I just gotta go in there and do what I'm training for.
Mario, you know, I can't recall who said it, but they said once Pacquiao gets you smiling, it's like he's got you or something. And you guys are sharing a lot of smiles. What do you think about that, man?
I don't know, man. I feel like I knew the face-off just, you know, being in front of it. I've been seeing a face-off people since I was a kid. You know, he's a very unserious person, but he's very serious when he steps in the ring.
Hey Mario, how does it feel like if you get in there, let's say you do win, are they gonna call you?
Yeah, you know, very unserious, but yeah, man. I mean, I know he's gonna bring it whenever we step in there. And but yeah, right now all the media, everything, you know, it's fun. You know, it's all smiles. But both of us, man,
when you first got to the pay-per-view level, there was like an adjustment period. You had to get used to it. And was there any nerves up there? Because this is even another level than the Tank fight and the Thurman fight.
Nah, no nerves. Like how you said, I think those fights, you know, have only, you know, prepared me, you know, for this level. And now, you know, doing like all this media stuff. Like, I mean, I've always hated this, right? I still do. But I've definitely, you know, gotten a lot more comfortable with it, or just used to it.
All right, guys. Last question, guys. The Tank fight that you learned with the slick, fast southpaw with lightning fast hands. What do you think you can take from your experience with Tank and apply it to Manny?
I think I could take a lot from that fight, actually, man. You know, like the way Tank, you know, the way he closes his distance. You know, the way, you know, like he worked off his speed. You know, similar size. I think Pacquiao might be a couple inches taller.
The question remains, when the bell rings, who will have the edge? Will it be the battle-tested legend seeking one last championship run, or the younger, hungrier fighter ready to carve out his own legacy?